Hello. So, the movie that I watched was Dangerous Minds, and it dealt with a teacher who came from the military, and she initially was just trying to get a position to start student teaching, but they were in such need of teachers at the school that they chose to hire her on the spot, because of where the school was. Many of the students were less fortunate, and it was in a what they would call rough side. Um, and it was just she had to deal with a lot of students being insubordinate, not really wanting to be there, not really wanting to be at school. They didn't really care about their education. And what she did was she gave them a reason to want to come to school. She made the way that she taught was different. It wasn't just a typical way of teaching, like, okay, class, this is what we're going to teach today. This is what you're going to learn today. She actually taught, but in a way that they would relate to it. So, um, how does it relate to my life story? I had many teachers throughout my education, throughout me receiving education, I'll say that, that didn't teach in a typical way. Um, they also taught in a way that would relate to us. So whether it be about what's going on in the world, or if it was about Chris Brown or Kim Kardashian, like they just wanted us to be engaged in class. And so I feel like that's essential now, because nowadays students really don't want to be in school. Students really don't care about their education like that. So we have to find a different way to teach to them that they can relate to, so that they will be interested in coming to school, because we're fortunate to receive education, because back in the day, some people were not fortunate to have an education. It was not a right, it was a privilege. So I think, yes, a lot of students take it for granted, but in a sense, it's like that's all they know. They know, okay, you just got to go to school, blah blah blah. They're gonna teach me, and students today, they don't want to go to school, so you have to make it interesting. And um, so those were some of the teaching practices I saw. She talked about things that will relate to them. Um, so that was one thing. What is something that I didn't know before that I know now? I think that aspect that is still going on today, that people that students still don't really want to learn, and we have to find a way, a balance between curriculum and connecting like the outside world. Like I think that that's something that has to be incorporated. Um, what shocked me in the movie was how quick they were able to adapt to her and adapt to her changes that she made, and how quick she was able to change the classroom. Because here it is, people who have taught for a long time, um, I guess people would say grandfathered in, but they've taught for a really, really, really long time, and they just have not been able to get a hold of these students and get them to actually pay attention and care about their education. And for someone who doesn't have a degree, um, who is just there to student teach, learn how to teach, for her to come in and completely change the atmosphere of the classroom, it surprised me. It did blow my mind, because it's like that lets you know that just because you taught for a certain amount of time doesn't mean that, just because you have more experience doesn't necessarily mean that the students will automatically click with you and they'll automatically learn the way that you teach. No, it takes you, one, forming a bond with the student, And it takes you actually having connection with the student, because the student is not going to fully care if you're just teaching at them. You have to do more than teach at them. You have to explain it. You have to care about them. You have to, and that's another thing. She connected with her students. She became close with her students. She wanted to like know what's going on or what makes you like this. And that was one thing I feel like a lot of teachers don't do today. They don't want to connect with their students. So what that really taught me, and what I've gained from it as a whole, and what I feel like I will try to do, is connect with my students and get them to know, hey, it's okay, I'm here if you need anything. And I don't want to be a typical teacher. I want to be an educator. I don't want to just teach at them. I want to educate them. So the movie as a whole was a very good movie, and I did learn a lot from it.